Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. It's about time I address the elephant in the room. And no, it's not that elephant. The elephant in the room, which is the topic that I haven't really discussed on this channel, unfortunately, recently, which is sugar, and my addiction to sugar, and which I think was a lot worse than what I initially thought, and also how I've been tracking with my goal of taking it out. So I think the last time I discussed it, I'm pretty sure it was like day 4. And I think we've just reached 3 weeks of this experiment. You know what I mean? I try to come up with reasons for me to go completely sugar-free, and being that I've been able to stick to taking alcohol out, and being that I've been able to stick to removing marijuana as well, social media and pornography, sugar was the 5th addiction that I tackled. And I was extremely strict with myself for the first week. I wasn't even having a spoon of sugar in my coffee, okay? And even now, like, I'm having honey, which is allowed, because it's not added sugar, right? But I started, coming across things like a muesli bar, and, I for the first week, I didn't even want bread. I didn't allow myself to have bread because it did have some added sugar in it, and I just saw the white bread as just being shit. And it is shit. But, in saying that, a nice healthy sandwich with some meat and salads and cheese and mayo and salt and pepper on some nice fresh white bread, as shit as it may be, tastes fucking good. And that is not me smoking weed, getting the munchies, sitting down at 12 o'clock at night, right before going to bed, and demolishing like 300, 400 grams of added sugar in things like cake, biscuits, donuts, and the like. That is not the same. And so I've had to just shift the goalposts somewhat, I guess you could say. It's getting dark in here. So I've had to shift the goalposts, and as well as that, I've been battling some pretty hefty sickness the last few days, or the last couple of weeks, actually. So I don't know about you, but when you get sick, everything goes to the wayside. All your goals, hopes, and dreams get fucking shoved out down the toilet, out the window, wherever you're going to put them. And basically, you're just trying to do whatever it takes to make yourself feel just that little bit better. Because when you are genuinely sick, it fucking sucks. And so I've been going through that, and that is when I've sort of forgotten completely about this addiction of mine, and I've allowed myself to basically look in the cupboards and eat whatever the hell I want. And yes, there's been some biscuits, and yes, there's been some lollies and chocolate, but certainly not to the level it was before. And looking back, I feel like one of my major issues, one of the things that was the catalyst for me to really hammer the sugar in the way that I was, and realize that I had a problem, was the fact that I was drinking alcohol and smoking weed. And they led me to make really, really bad nutritional decisions. And at the moment, or at least for the last 26 days as of today, no alcohol, and 11 days, no weed. That means that those thought patterns and that inability to feel full and just looking for sugary foods it's just not there. So if I do have some sugary foods, if I do have a food that has some added sugar in it, I'll have a little bit of something, but I won't be continuing it, and I won't be just binging like I was. So I'm not going to say that I've, stuck to my initial goal as such, but I'm certainly in a way healthier position as far as my relationship with sugary foods, than I was, and it's got to be good for me, you know. I've been struggling with this fucking sickness that just does not want to go away. I've had it for 2 weeks, and all I want is to wake up one morning feeling sweet. And I don't know whether this is, you know, to do with taking out the sugar. I doubt it. And all I can think is that if I was hammering myself in the way that I was before, you know, I'd be feeling just that much worse. Sugar is a toxic substance, but it's very hard to well, it's not hard. It's not hard. I'm feeling, you know, I feel like I have let myself down somewhat. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to beat myself up too much, but I have let myself down as far as this. What I really want is just whole foods, you know, whole foods. Meat, veggies, and fruits, and nuts. Meat, veggies, fruits, and nuts. I could live off of that quite happily. But now I'm in a house where I've got 2 kids and they have little snacks, and you know, we've got to have some sweet things for their lunches, and I mean, we don't have to, but that's just the way we do it. And so that means that the opportunity to have those, the option is there. These little snacks, you know, little Oreo biscuits and chips and shit like that. Well, chips I could actually have because that's not added sugar, but it's still shit. So really, what I want to fundamentally do through this experiment, through this challenge, is to transform my diet into a whole foods diet. That's what I want. But I'm going to be sharing a fridge and a cupboard space with people that don't want to do that, and so it makes it difficult. But that's where a bit of discipline and being headstrong comes in. And I've got to work on my discipline. That's, at the end of the day, that's all I need to do. It's up to me. And not only, you know, through this, not only will I just feel a whole lot better about myself, about how I'm treating my body, because as you know, we only have one. Our body is our temple, and we should treat it as such. So I'll feel better mentally because of that, because I know I'll be doing the right things. But physically, I mean, you know, that bloat and just general fat loss will come about a lot easier. And at the moment, I do want to shape up, and you know, controlling my diet and taking out the added sugar is only going to help with that. So, you know, it's I guess, was I expecting some sort of miracle? Was I expecting to wake up, you know, a week later after taking out sugar with a 6-pack? Maybe I was. But as we all know, that's completely unrealistic, and it's going to take time. And my body is going to take time to you know, get rid of all of the toxicity from all of that sugar. And you know, I've got to be okay with the fact that I may not feel like instantly better, and I may not feel these radical changes to my mood and to my body shape and body fat levels and all that. But that's okay. You know, it's well, it's clearly not about that. It's about lifestyle change. It's about overall change. It's about long-term change. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I really wanted to check in because it has been a while, and it's not something that I've thrown away completely. I'm still doing my best, still making, you know, healthier decisions, and I'm not going to bed having binged. You know, like couple nights ago, I made what did I make? I made mashed potatoes, broccoli, and corned beef with some mustard sauce, and it was absolutely delicious. And I had it for the next night as well. And, you know, having eaten a big plate of that at about 8 o'clock at night, normal time, well, relatively normal for me, let it digest, you know, go to bed at 9:30 or 10 without any sweet food. You know, I brush my teeth before going to bed, and it's just making healthier choices overall. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if I am presented with a a sugary, treat or something, or like, let's say at work, if there was a morning tea or whatever, I'm not gonna say no. You know what I mean? I'm gonna allow myself that, but I'm not gonna go out and purchase, bags of lollies and shit like that. If it comes into my life, hey, I'll indulge and I'll say thank you and I'll enjoy it and hopefully not overeat, and it won't affect me. But I'm not going to be, filling up the shopping cart as I used to, making sure that I had, making sure that every single night I had, a smorgasbord of sweet food to binge. And, that's just not the way that I want to live my life anymore. And so all of these changes have culminated into this, and I'm slowly but surely, morphing into this new person, and feels good. Feels good, man. And you can do it too. Day one is the hardest, I'll tell you that much. And if you're smoking weed, it's going to be even harder. So, that's a blessing that I'm not smoking, because I know, like I can be here, like I can vividly remember exactly how it makes me feel. I could be here with the utmost conviction, talking all this shit, right, to you guys, just as I am now, and then I'll go and have a smoke, and it will all be wiped away. It'll all be wiped away. I won't care about it anymore. All I'll want is to go to that fridge and get some sweet food. And I won't give a shit about anything I've just said. It's just weird. Yeah. A sober mind is a mind that is able to be consistent, and it's able to be reasonable. And for me, whether I was drinking or smoking, it just completely took that ability away. And so, yeah, had enough. I want to get my six-pack back, I really do. And yes, I may have thought that I'd have it by now, but it's going to take a bit more work than that, and a bit more consistency. I've fallen off the bandwagon over the last week because I've been feeling like shit, and I just wanted something. I don't have any alcohol, don't have any weed. I just wanted something, and sugar was the one thing that I was still able to do without really letting myself down. But I'm, back on the bandwagon. Like I said, there's been a few nights recently where I haven't had any sweet food before going to bed or anything like that, so it can only be good. So I will update you guys in good time. Thanks.